When we get back to my office, I'll give you your marching orders.
Sounds good, Chuck.
Man, the Senate sucks. I'm just going to come out and say it. They suck. This is not hard. 80% of the American people want the Save America Act to pass. Not 80% of Republicans, 80% of the American people. And the only organization that refused to act is the United States Senate. Everybody else is saying, this is common sense. We should do common sense things. Let's make sure only Americans are voting in our elections. Makes sense, right? Let's protect the franchise of the American people. Let's make sure that people who are sent to Washington are being voted on by Americans. Who the American people choose is up to them, but we have a responsibility to secure that franchise and to secure that process for the American people. And what is happening in the U.S. Senate is laziness, and quite frankly, it's disgusting. What? The Senate Democrats don't want to have voter ID in America. Why? Because they want to maintain their power. Senate Republicans don't want to do the right thing and actually have a true filibuster on the floor and debate the matter on the floor, because it would take them away from their precious meetings that they have to conduct. I'm sorry. They have a responsibility to open up the Senate floor and debate this issue in front of the American people. I agree with Chairman Harris 1,000%. I want to hear what Chuck Schumer has to say on the floor in full debate about why he opposes this measure. I want to hear what Elizabeth Warren has to say about why she would oppose this measure. I want her to tell the people of Massachusetts why she believes that the people of Massachusetts should not have to show a photo ID in order to vote in a federal election in the United States of America. Just the other day, President Obama opened up his presidential library.
Yeah, big shout out to Byron Donalds, man, the next governor of the great state of Florida. And obviously, just full disclosure, okay? Full disclosure, I just want to be honest, right? This was a fake video. This is AI, okay? That is supposed to be John Thune and obviously Chuck Schumer, the two Senate leaders, John Thune being the majority leader, Chuck Schumer being the Democrat minority leader. But it does feel like that is genuinely true, which is why I wanted to play that for you guys. But just full disclosure, that is a fake video. It is AI, okay? It's AI. But like I said, I can guarantee you, they probably have some very friendly conversations behind the scenes. Maybe not to that extent, hey, I'll give you your marching orders, but they have some very friendly conversations, I'm sure, behind the scenes. Now, I want to talk about this situation going down with Scott Pressler. A lot of you know who Scott Pressler is. I've talked about Scott Pressler quite a lot on this channel here because he is a gentleman who deserves a lot of notoriety, who deserves, to be patted on the back because he's out here doing some genuine good work, registering Republicans to vote, he's going from state to state all over the place. If you want to find a way to get involved, Scott Pressler is the guy to get in contact with. But he was in South Dakota yesterday, and John Thune was too. And it didn't go so well. But before we get into that, I do want to play this clip of Scott Pressler talking about how he is going to, let's just say, make sure John Thune doesn't have a job after 2028. Check it out.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. I am here outside of Senate Majority Leader Thune's Washington, D.C. office. And while we were filming a video, just had a beautiful family from Kansas come up and say, Scott, we must pass the Save America Act. And truly, I mean this in earnest. This is the single most important piece of legislation the American people want. It is country saving. And I've done my best to be diplomatic. I've done my best to reach across the aisle and work with members of Congress in order to pass legislation that 84% of Americans want. And yet here we are in May of 2026, and we still have yet to pass the Save America Act. And that's why it's time to play hardball. This Saturday, I ask you to defeat Senator Bill Cassidy. If Senate Majority Leader Thune is not going to give us what we want, then you peacefully, you take away his top ally. You take away what he has. Give us the Save America Act or lose your seats. And that's...
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, obviously, that was an older video. Bill Cassidy did lose along with John Cornyn and some others, okay? Which is why I don't expect any type of SAVE Act or anything that's in our favor to be passed for the rest of the year. And I said this when all of the kicking out the rhinos was going down, when we were accomplishing that. I was like, well, those rhinos, yeah, they're kicked out, but they're technically not kicked out until next year. Like, they're still going back to DC in the meantime, in between time. It's not like now they just, vanish and go home. Like, no. They still go back to DC. And you can bet your bottom dollar they are pissed, okay? They are not happy that this is their final term in DC. So don't expect any favors from these folks. As a matter of fact, expect some sabotage to go on. Expect that. And be fine with it when it happens. Understand that this is a part of the game, right? And so I'm not surprised that the SAVE Act doesn't have the urgency, especially now. It didn't have the urgency before, and I darn sure don't expect it now to have any type of urgency because of what we have been doing to these rhinos and what we have vowed to continue to do to these rhinos. So back to Scott Pressler. He went to a convention in South Dakota, a GOP convention in South Dakota, a ticketed event. He had a ticket, but wasn't allowed in simply because he is Scott Pressler and he has told John Thune he is coming peacefully for John Thune's seat. So I'm going to play this video from Scott Pressler himself. Check it out.
Hey guys, this is Scott Pressler. I'm here at the South Dakota State Convention. I have a ticket, and they are saying that I can't come in. So we're going to find out very shortly why I am not being allowed as one of the biggest supporters of President Donald J. Trump.
I'm big on Facebook too, and I'm the asshole saying you can't come in because guess what? You're posting this little piss and moan session on Facebook. So you just get the hell out of here. Thank you.
You see how the grassroots are welcomed in Senate Majority Leader Thune's territory. Interesting, my friends. I don't think this is a good reflection of the South Dakota GOP, but I thank him for his honesty. Though, what's your Matthew Bruner, Sergeant at Arms?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. What a darn shame. What a darn shame. And to mention that guy who said he's big on Facebook, and I don't like to do this, but he has 12K followers. If that's big, well then what am I? If you consider yourself big at 12K, and I don't like to brag. I never really talk about this. Even some of the milestones I've reached, right? But if that's what you consider big, then what would I be considered? Like, not even from this planet? Like, because there's 1.8 million of you subscribed to this channel, so if 12K is massive or big, yeah, that it'd have to be like out of this world. But you see the arrogance of these types of folks. Hey, yeah, I'm big on Facebook. You're nobody special, bro. Relax. Like, I'm not anybody special. I don't consider myself anybody special. I've never called myself anybody special. So, like, why do you think you're special? Yeah, I'm big on Facebook. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. As a matter of fact, that guy who was the Sergeant at Arms, he was actually fired for that right there. So thank goodness he was fired. But here's some more information on why Scott Pressler wasn't allowed in. And it turns out John Thune was 100% behind it.
You say, did John Thune specifically ask that Scott Pressler not attend this event?
Yes.
Okay, is John Thune a member of the convention committee?
No.
So how does he have the authority to remove people from events?
He has he has a
Please let Scott Pressler in.
he has a lot of security in there, and
Is Mr. Pressler considered a security threat?
not to me, but I'm not going to go in there and argue with the Secret Service. Thank you, James.
What a darn shame. Pathetic. Pathetic. And this is how you know they were really trying to keep Scott Pressler out. They had a photo of Scott Pressler on a desk just inside the room. Here it is.
So this is James Bialotta with Dead On.
Look at that.
Where it looks like there's a memorandum with Scott Pressler's picture on the first table to identify him at the door to prevent him from entering. This is the doors at the Rushmore Hall where Scott Pressler was denied access to a ticketed event because John Thune said so.
Democrat stuff right there. Democrat. What a shame. And yet, you know, John Thune will get up there and he'll talk a good game just like Democrats do.
Sometimes I have to wonder if Democrats remember the last election and how 4 years of record-breaking illegal immigration on President Biden's watch helped hand the House, the Senate, and the White House to Republicans. Because to watch the Democrat Party right now, you'd think that 2024 never happened. Democrats not only haven't rejected the open borders philosophy of the Biden administration, they've doubled down.
And to watch people like yourself, John Thune, it doesn't seem like 2024 actually happened. Because we gave you the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and yet, you know what? Never mind. I was about to go off on a rant. John Thune is up for re-election in 2028 in South Dakota. So if you live in South Dakota, vote him out, please. To say the least. All right? Just do me that favor. Vote John Thune out. I want to see his sorry behind. Well, I almost cursed. I want to see his sorry behind when he loses. You know? Jeez. Makes me sick. Makes me sick. I forgot where I was going with this now. Yeah, I don't even remember. I had other clips, but I don't even remember. I have John Thune derangement syndrome, man. I've got it. I've got the disease, guys. I've got John Thune derangement. He pisses me off so much. I forgot what I was even talking about, what I was going to say, and all of that. I will say this, you know, when people talk about, oh man, the Republican Party is useless, the Republican Party hasn't done enough, you know, I feel like Sophie Cunningham, the women's basketball player from Indiana, because I might actually talk about this story as well, but I feel like Sophie Cunningham when people start saying that, because I just want to point at John Thune. Like, no, it's not the Republican Party at large. It's not the whole Republican Party. It's just a few people at the very top. Mainly John Thune. You know, I feel like Sophie Cunningham. Like, no, it's him. It's him. It's him. It's that guy. It's that guy. It's not the whole party. I promise you. It's him. It's him. You know, shout out to Sophie, man. Shout out to Sophie. I like Sophie Cunningham. I may actually talk about that WNBA story tomorrow, maybe, if you guys are interested in hearing that. Which is why I actually had that clip, because I was thinking about talking about it today, but I've got some other things I want to touch on. But yeah, once we vote out folks like John Thune and Lisa Murkowski, and there's a couple others as well, but the big names at the very top, like those two individuals, we're smooth sailing. We're smooth sailing. We are smooth sailing. Yeah, we'll have Susan Collins, sure, but she ain't gonna really make that much of a difference. And at the end of the day, she's better than the alternative, the far left socialist, Graham Plattner. I couldn't think of his name there for a second. She's better than him. Okay, way, way better than him. Okay, so I'll take Susan Collins any day over that. But Lisa Murkowski can get voted out. We could find somebody better in Alaska. John Thune, 100% can get voted out. We can find somebody 1,000 times better in South Dakota. Hell, isn't Kristi Noem from South Dakota? Wasn't she like the governor of South Dakota? Give me Kristi Noem over John Thune, please. Right? Give us Kristi Noem. Okay? I'll take that over John Thune. My goodness. It's just pathetic. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that with you all. Don't expect the Save America Act to be passed. Okay? Unfortunately, I know it sucks, but you got people like John Thune who are actively working to undermine Uncle Trump. And here's a great clip of such. Notice what John Thune does in this video clip. Did you catch it? Did you see it? Here, I'm going to play it one more time.
And they have to. Otherwise, we just go back and do what we have to do.
Did you see it? While everybody else turned to walk with Uncle Trump out, all the other senators, John Thune turns and walks the opposite direction. What a pathetic piece of crap. Yeah. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. I'm sick of his behind. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.